guys, M.V.K here, back again. How's everybody doing on there? And well, I'm sure you guys have been blowing up and giddy for the likes of Daredevil, Born Again. I am too. It's good to see the devil back. It's good to see Hornhead back. It's good to see Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio and everybody come back to their respective roles. But the one thing that I've seen a lot of you guys, especially a lot of you guys that are subbed to me, and unfamiliar, is the one character that most people have, which may be playing the big bad in this season, the Muse. This character that you see to my left, or your right. I could be wrong. Wherever I put it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Muse, and I want to help educate a lot of people on the Muse in general. I don't want people, so there's maybe a lot of people that just aren't familiar with the character, or or pretty much just who is this guy? That you're uneducated. As someone who's been reading and loving Daredevil, he's my second favorite Marvel hero of all time. So yeah, I'm here to help. I want to help because I've seen quotes like this from you guys, my pack, and just people who are not familiar with it. So let me tell you who the Muse is. So first and foremost, we have to start with the creators. Who created the Muse? The Muse was created by Charles Soule, nice guy, met him a couple of times, very nice guy, and artist Ron Gardney. This was during the, I would say, fifth fifth Daredevil run, or as they say, fifth volume of Daredevil. He was introduced in issue number 7 of Charles Soule's run back in 2016. So that's when he was first introduced. He was a very interesting character from day one, and a very scary character from day one. And that's always the interesting thing about when Daredevil is facing characters like this. Most of Daredevil's characters don't have powers. They have skill, because he's more of a street level hero with superpowers. All his senses are heightened. But the Muse is a serial killer. He is a legit serial killer, and he would be right up there with guys like Jeffrey Dahmer, the Son of Sam, the Zodiac Killer, all them guys. He'd be right up there. Because why? Let me tell you why. Because this man uses art. He uses abduction. He abducts people and kills them, and he uses their blood to paint his art. That's pretty much the best way to describe the Muse. That's how dangerous he is. He will paint these pictures by using the blood of his victims, and he kind of gets off on it. That's sick, right? That's who he is. That's exactly who he is. Shocking mass murders. And he's done this before. And when Daredevil was first introduced to him, that's how he met him. Now, during this run, Daredevil had a sidekick named Blind Spot, a young Asian boy, and the Muse literally used him to get to Daredevil, to hurt him. What did he do? He took Blind Spot, he took his eyes out. Yeah. He died in the 600th issue of Daredevil. Yes, it was about the 600th issue. He was not going to stay around. He wasn't going to stay around very much. I knew he was going to be like a one-off villain. He wasn't gonna let, because these type of villains, these serial killer type villains, just do not last very long, especially with someone like Daredevil. Matt wanted to kill him because of what he did to Blindspot, his partner, but he didn't. Now, you may be asking yourself, okay, so what makes him so dangerous? Like, outside of he's a serial killer, but what makes him so dangerous, Chris? Well, first thing y'all need to know is he's an Inhuman. Now, it makes me wonder if they're going to pull that in the series. Will they introduce him as an Inhuman, or he's just a crazed, stereotypical villain, serial killer? So if they do pull that out, that he's an Inhuman, that'd be spot on. He also has superhuman abilities. He has superhuman strength. He is super fast. And there have been many times Daredevil could barely track him because how fast he is. Even his senses were having trouble. And he also has one other power that really messes with Daredevil. His body is encased in a vortex that literally messes with sensory equivalents of anybody, like hearing and things like that, and sight. And that's another reason why it takes him it took him Daredevil a long time to track him down. And he's also a skilled fighter. He's a skilled fighter. He is skilled at hand-to-hand combat as well, and so he can go toe-to-toe with a lot of great hand-to-hand combat artists in the Marvel Universe. But he was no joke. He was no joke, and he was scary. He was very scary. And it really, really is cool that they are bringing him into the MCU, or into this Daredevil run. Like I said, he was a one-off villain. He didn't last very long. He served his purpose on what he was. There was even a point where when Blindspot caught back up with him after he got his sight back through the hand. The hand was able to give him back his sight, but still, the first time, imagine just saying, "Ooh, I want your eyes," boink, and just taking your two fingers and poking them out. That's him. That's the Muse. But at the same time, he is very dangerous. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how they play him off. Now, how he looks in the series is just how he looks in the comics. White, almost like his eyes are bleeding and crying, hat, suspenders, things like that. Yeah, he looks like that. But that's a mask he wears. He looks even worse underneath that mask. But yeah, the main gist of the Muse, guys, is that he was created by Charles Soule and Ron Garney. He is a serial killer that uses mass murders and abductions and drains them of their blood, and he paints art with their blood. And more importantly, he's an Inhuman, and he has fought Daredevil, and he's deadly. He really is. So I hope that was a little bit of a little crash course of the Muse 101 for you guys. I hope you guys learned a little bit. If you'd like to check out that run of Daredevil, where you can read the full run of the Muse and his debut, I'll probably leave. You could find it, and I'll try to find. And if you're probably seeing where you could purchase if you like in the description down below. But yeah, he is a very interesting Daredevil villain and adversary, and it makes me wonder how far they're going to go with this character. But there you guys have it. If you enjoyed what you saw, give me a like. If you learned something, I would appreciate that as well. But in the meantime, guys, you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces.